Good day everyone, this is Jason Santos and on this video I will begin the discussion of BPO 1, the introduction to the IT and business process management industry. This is the very first lecture for BPO 1, one of the subjects under the revised CHED CMO business management courses. So before we start, I would just like to give you a brief background about me, and hope this establishes my credibility to discuss the subject with you. Before I went into teaching, a portion of my career was spent in the BPO industry, and you could see that in my working experience. I have been in IBEX Global for a team management position for nearly 10 years. And apart from that, I have also worked in several BPO companies like um, Telstra, AFNI, IBM back in 2008. And yeah, that is a pedigree of how much work I have done in the BPO industry, and now I am teaching this subject to you guys. And on the rightmost section, you can see some of the skills that I have been endorsed for under BPO. You can check them all out in my LinkedIn profile, which I flash most of the time in my videos as well as the description of my videos. So yeah, this is again just a reminder and assurance to everyone who's watching, not just my students, that what I am teaching is based from my experience and not just theories. Okay, so here are some of the photos of my experiences in the BPO, some of the awards that I have accumulated, and the teams that I have managed. Uh, I have been in an inbound program, an outbound program, customer service, tech support, chat support, even you name it. Um, I have almost experienced them all. So yeah. Now, just an overview of the course. You will have the opportunity to learn the basics regarding business process outsourcing and its importance to the economic growth of the Philippines. This will be made possible through your active participation in the following, such as lectures, individual recitation, group discussions in class group or out of class individual assignments, article reviews, video presentations, and more. Now, I have slightly modified this course material to fit the current status and the current situation where we are all in. And that's going to be synchronous learning, asynchronous learning, modular for some, as well as the current setting of the BPO industry where most of the workers now are currently working at home, okay, or on a remote basis. And as a learner, you are responsible for your own learning. Here are some of the reminders that we give students back when we still have face to face. Just do come in on time if we whether we will be doing this on Zoom, on Google Meet, virtually, online. Just follow the specific schedule that was given to you. If you are on modular, then you can do it at your own convenience. Um, be participative, ask questions if necessary, be supportive, do the assigned tasks, be enthusiastic, energetic, and fun, and keep all the distractions away. So, all of these things are a training for you because later on, when you would start working for a BPO company, you would need to have all of those characteristics and norms followed. Okay, so Um, Basically, in the past, what we do for a first meeting is to ask students, ask everyone to describe themselves, okay, to introduce themselves. And BPO is offered in first year and second year students, so sometimes students aren't familiar with their peers yet, their classmates yet. So this is an activity that will help you start building confidence in introducing yourself, and most of the time we do it uh, in English. Okay, we don't allow the students to speak in vernacular, and that's just part of the training. Okay, so what's your name, what's your year level, and what is or what are your expectations, are you most interested to learn from this course. Okay, and other activities, it would involve in less than 5 minutes write down answers to the questions like what are your initial thoughts or impressions about the IT and BPO industry. And at the end of 5 minutes, the students are advised to discuss it in front of the class. But we won't be able to do that if we are in a synchronous learning modality. So yeah, these are just a couple of pointers of the things that you must be able to perform, whether virtually or not. So part of this curriculum and this material was an introduction of or the inauguration of several new work sites of BPO companies conducted by former President Benigno Aquino. Okay, and of course we won't be able to do that here, but you can check it out on YouTube. Okay, you can find the same video. I'll just put down the link in the description. And a brief history of the BPO sector in the Philippines. And one of the most robust sectors in the Philippines right now is the information technology and business process outsourcing, or the IT-BPO sector. Now, more than just a lucrative enterprise, the IT-BPO sector has also proven to be the largest and fastest growing industry. In fact, up until today, despite of the pandemic, BPO is still the major sector that continuously hires, continuously grows and expands its operations, right? So the pandemic has not been a hindrance. In fact, it has given the industry some sort of an evolution because people can now work at home, right? Imagine during my time that idea was probably alien. If you would tell someone that hey, you can work at home, that would not be possible when during the time that I was still working for BPO companies. So seeing them now taking this transition is really really phenomenal. So there is no denying its major role in providing quality jobs and encouraging economic activity. So that's true because uh, admit it or not, BPO jobs are still one of the biggest paying jobs in the market. Okay, biggest paying, highest salary offered in the market. Okay, that's why a lot of graduates are still taking BPO jobs because practically, yeah, they're just going for practicality, bigger salary, faster promotion, lots of incentives, HMO since day one. So those things are some of the benefits that workers can enjoy and that are not available for other private companies or even public service or in the government. Okay, so of course the IT-BPO industry was not an overnight affair. Of course, it did not happen overnight. Um, Credit is due to the handful of individuals who saw the potential in business in its early stages. Among them are likes of Rainier Bong Borja, who is often regarded as the most articulate voice of the Philippines BPO industry. So Rainier Bong Borja is one of probably I would say pillars of the BPO industry, and he's highly acclaimed. A lot of uh, BPO professionals look up to him, okay, because he's one of the pioneers. So Karen Batong Bakal for her early involvement in series of contract center firms, and yeah, Karen Batong Bakal was one of the pioneers in terms of the infrastructure, okay, the building of sites, okay, encouraging investors to put up buildings to house call centers, okay, in the past. And of course, Secretary Mar Rojas, who during his tenure as Secretary of the Department of Trade and Industry saw the potential of the industry, reached out to key leaders to promote foreign investment. So, um, Secretary Mar Rojas during his time was very hardworking in terms of convincing foreign investors to put money here, to invest in the Philippines. And we are going to uncover that in the upcoming topics. Okay, and all of these things help shape the landscape of BPO into what it is today. In fact, one of the key contributions of Marrojas was lobbying in the Congress to revise Republic Act 7916 so that buildings and floors in buildings could be registered as an eco zone. So when you say eco zone, they enjoy benefits that other establishments don't, like tax exemptions, priority in terms of infrastructure development, transportation development. Okay, that's why many BPOs look for office spaces in what we call back then as eco zones. That meant that the BPO industries were exempt from paying national and local taxes. You see, they are exempted on some portions of taxes and only had to contribute 5% of their gross income as tax. And that's probably one of the key reasons why you see a surge in the amount of BPO companies in the Philippines. Another significant but unexpected contributor to the BPO industry was Bill Gates because he donated Microsoft application licenses to the PCP programs. So as we all know, Microsoft licenses are paid, they are not free. You would have to spend to get licenses, but if you are a BPO company, you are you would have the chance to get the Microsoft app licenses back then for free. Okay, so yeah, Bill Gates was one of the major contributors in this growth of BPO in the Philippines, enabled the BPO industry to function and thrive. Now, in order to celebrate how far the Philippines has come, we've created a timeline. So let me show you the timeline. The picture might be a little, very little in this slide. I can put in the link in the description of my video so you can check it out for yourself. So basically here, I won't be going over them one by one, but what I would just like to point out is that this did not start in 2000 as year 2000s as many claim. It started back in 1992. There were very few BPO companies, and then probably in 2000s was when we started seeing rapid growth. Okay, and then from there rather, every year the sector enjoys a huge increases in terms of revenue, in terms of employment. Okay, 8.9 billion in revenue, 11 billion in revenue. Okay, 15 billion in revenue. So imagine, it's really going up year by year. Okay? And even up until this time, the revenues are still skyrocketing. Okay, because these are the only types of jobs that uh, are available despite of the pandemic. I mean, you don't need to be physically available in the site. You can work from home. Just need to have the proper equipment, the internet connection, and you're good to go. All right. So as you can see, up until this point, there's no signs of slowing down. It continues to grow, and that is the power of the BPO industry in the Philippines. And here are some of the well-known companies. Forgive me, some of them might no longer be existing. Some of them are also acquired by bigger companies. Like for example, Convergys has been acquired by Concentrix. I'm not so sure with the others, but there's a lot of mergers and acquisitions happening every now and then with these companies. But during my time, these are some of the BPO companies that are really popular and are being aimed for by employees just like me, professionals just like me. So some of them are still existing today, and when you graduate, you might be seeing differences in terms of the names of the companies, the logos. But bottom line is that the BPO is here to stay. And that's the reason why this course has been added to the curriculum by CHED, because they have foreseen it to be in a direction that just keeps on growing. Okay? So Philippines is a very good destination for BPO companies, and that is where I would end this first discussion, this introduction, because I would like for you to write an essay as to why the Philippines is a very good destination and why a lot of American companies, European companies, Western companies are going to the Philippines to do their business process outsourcing. So I will be putting this in your Google Classroom so you can start creating your essay. And I'm looking forward to your answers that you have researched online. And that's it for this very first introduction. I hope you have learned a few insights despite of this video being short. And for more videos like this, you can go ahead and check out my playlists. You can also follow me on the following platforms. And yes, I hope you all stay safe, and I will see you on the next video.